Feedback on it has more than 1,000 comments about how helpful it was, but that video was 4 years ago, so I thought it was time for an updated one. These exercises are designed for 37 weeks and after, when your baby is full term. They can help kickstart things if your body and your baby are ready. However, your body is ultimately in control of when your labor is going to start. Many of these exercises you may have been doing throughout your pregnancy, and this will not put you into preterm labor. Of course, this class is also designed to help your body feel good and get rid of those aches and pains that are so common at the end of pregnancy. I may look like I'm pregnant. I'm actually wearing a belly for demonstration. I do have 3 kids and I had 3 positive birth experiences. For a couple of the moves, I will also be using a birth ball and a block. However, if you don't have those, I will provide modifications for no equipment. Let's start on all 4s. You can press your hands into the ground. Let's round out, tucking your chin. And then inhale, tip your tailbone up, look up, keeping your baby pulled in, not just flopping out here. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, arching. Let's do one more with our breath. Exhale. Inhale, arch. Good, let's come back to a neutral spine and we can start to take some big, feel-good hip circles here. At the end of my pregnancies, I always tried to spend a lot of times on all 4s here or in forward leaning positions. For example, backwards over a kitchen chair leaning forward, trying to get my baby into an optimal fetal position, preventing back labor. Let's go the other way. Good, coming back to our neutral spine, we'll lift opposite arm and leg for bird dog. Exhale, pull your baby in to protect your core. As you lift, inhale, back down. Switch to the other side, keeping your back strong. Continue with your breath. Last one. Good, let's bring our knees wide apart here. We're gonna move into open knee chest pose. So you can walk your body forward and place your head and your chest on the ground, keeping your glutes as high as you can into the air. If you wanted to support yourself with pillows around your head and chest, you can as well. Let's take some deep breaths here. So this is part of the Miles circuit, which can help also induce labor. So you can spend a few minutes here or up to 10 or even 30 minutes if you wanted to pause, if you had more time, or you can come back to this later. This is actually lifting baby out of the pelvis a little bit and lengthening the ligaments and tissues in the pelvis. While we're here, let's thread the needle. So you can take one hand and thread it underneath. Good, taking your extended hand, placing it in front of your face. to allow yourselves to switch sides. Good, bring that top hand in front of your face again. And let's come on up onto our knees. So probably the most important part of this pose is now letting your baby settle back into your pelvis in an optimal position. So let's breathe, bringing our hands up and exhale down. Good. Inhale up, looking right up at your thumbs. Exhale down, one more breath. Release, relaxing through your pelvic floor, imagining your cervix softening and opening. Good. Let's move into some kneeling lunges. If you wanted to roll up your mat or place a little blanket under your back knee, you can. We're gonna bring one foot out in front, but instead of having it right in front, we're gonna take it to the outside of the mat and turn it out. And then we can rock back and forth here. Doing some asymmetrical movement for your pelvis. You could also do this standing and place your foot up on a chair or a bed. And we can release into the lunge here. Pressing your front foot into the ground. Again, never stretching too deep during pregnancy. Letting your hip flexor, your psoas release here. Slight tuck. Good, let's release out. You can switch to the other side. Again, bringing it to the outside edge of your mat, turning your front leg out, rocking back and forth. Let's release into the stretch if that feels good. Rocking one last time. We can come back up, bringing our foot in. If you have a block, you can go grab a block or a book or a stool, or you can also just do it on the ground. We'll come up to standing. We're gonna do some hip hikes, which is a variation of curb walking. So we can place one foot on the ground or on your block. Flex the other foot. We're gonna let it drop down and then hike your hip right up. Good. Creating movement, lateral movement in your pelvis. Let's do a few more here. Good, we can switch to the other side. Really dropping your hip down, hiking it up. You can also walk up and down your stairs sideways. Let's do one more. Good, I'm gonna place my block back And if you have a ball, you can go ahead and grab your ball. If you don't have a ball, you can get onto all fours for hip circles again. So if you're on your ball, we're gonna take nice big hip circles, or you could be on all fours. Good, let's go the other way. Let's come on top of our ball, or you can find a neutral position on all fours. Well, let's move into some pelvic tilt. So you can arch slightly and then tuck your tailbone under for a posterior tilt, moving back and forth. Relaxing through your pelvic floor, feeling it melt into the ball. Good, now let's go side to side. We can take a figure 8 motion now. So you can make the top of the figure 8 and bottom. Steady, calm breath. Let's go the other way. Let's grab a quick sip of water, and while you're thinking about it, you can go down to the description box and grab one of my most popular resources I get lots of amazing feedback on, my complete guide on how to reduce and cope with pain during labor. Let's do some standing poses now. We're gonna move into Warrior Two. We can spread our legs wide apart. Take your right foot and turn it towards the side of the room. Your back foot is perpendicular, rolling your shoulders down your back. You can bend your front knee. Taking some steady breaths. Soft gaze out over your middle finger. Hips are facing directly towards the front. You can take your left hand to your baby, and let's reach over with our right arm, ballooning out through your side body, making room under your ribs. Legs are strong. Use your obliques, exhale. Coming back up, we can straighten the front leg. Let's bring our back leg in just a little bit, and then use some internal rotation to move into triangle or Trikonasana, reaching forward, and then stacking your shoulders over top of your front leg. You can look in front of you, or if it's available, looking up towards your top hand. Strong legs, pulling up your kneecaps, spreading your toes. Full exhale, engage to come up. Let's turn to the right hand side, hands on your hips, squaring them to the side of the room. Find length in your spine and then hinge forward into pyramid pose. Just a gentle stretch here, so not causing injury during pregnancy. Good. Coming back up again. Let's switch to do those poses on the other side. Coming into Warrior Two. Relaxing through your pelvic floor. Bringing your right hand to your belly, reaching up and over for Peaceful Warrior. Using your core to bring yourself back up again, straightening your front knee. If it feels good, you can bring that back leg in slightly. Trikonasana. Pressing your feet into the ground. Windmilling back up, let's turn to the left. Finding length in your spine, and then slight hinge forward, not rounding out at all through your back. Good, inhale coming up. We can face the front. Let's come into Goddess Pose and reaching back up again, squeezing your quads and your glutes down, moving with your breath. Exhale, pull your baby in, squeezing up, inhale down. Knees open, reaching towards the back of the room. Good, let's stay here. We can take our hands to just above our knees. For a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can let one shoulder fall in. Good, switching to the other side. Releasing up. We're going to move into a deep squat or a yogi squat here. Feet are just a little bit wider than hip width distance apart to come into your yogi squat. If yogi squat doesn't feel good to you, just come halfway down in your squat. So you can stop here, or you can continue all the way down, pressing your elbows into your knees, sitting tall, and then exhale, coming all the way up again. We'll do that a few times. Releasing down, releasing through your pelvic floor. Exhale, pressing up. Good. You could also put your glutes block or a stool. Let's stay here for a few breaths, or you could also be in butterfly pose. Relax your shoulders down your back. Relax your pelvic floor. Again, imagine your cervix is softening and opening. You can either come up through standing and come back sitting on your glutes, or you can tip forward and we can find our way to a seated position. Let's bring one knee in and we can lengthen our right leg out. Let's sit tall on our sit bones, reaching up and over. Flex your extended foot. Exhale, pull your baby in to come up. Let's switch to the other side. Reaching up and over. Exhale, coming up. Let's bring both feet together for butterfly or Baddha Konasana, letting our knees flop open, sitting tall. You can keep sitting tall, or if it feels good, you can hinge forward. Gets a little bit harder as your belly gets bigger. Focusing on relaxing again, relaxing your face, your pelvis. On an inhale, if you're leaning forward, come back up, and we can slightly tip back here. Let's windshield our legs, moving right through external and internal rotation. Good, coming back up. If you have your ball, you can grab your ball. Alternatively, we can practice for labor on all fours. If you've got your ball, you can release your upper body over your ball, placing your forehead or your chest on your ball. Let's bring our knees about hip width distance apart, and then we're going to practice our internal rotation, which is great for the pushing phase of labor. We're going to pick our ankles up and internally rotate and bringing them back parallel. This may not be a big movement, but it opens up the outlet of your pelvis for when you're pushing. Good, we can stay in this internal rotation position. And if you want to, you can imagine that your body is pushing, and you can exhale for about 10 seconds, maybe low toned vowel sounds like ah, or maybe even a grunt. But you want to let some air escape. This reduces the risk of tearing. So big inhale, and when your body is pushing, exhale. Good. And inhale again. And slow, controlled exhale. Good, let's do one more time. Good, come on up. We're gonna set up in Shavasana, laying on our side. If you wanted to grab a bolster or pillows or blankets, you can. Finding a comfortable spot, you can place your hand on your baby, sending your baby some love. Scan your body, relaxing all the different parts of your body. During labor, this will be your job to release, surrender, relax, and let your body push your baby. Relaxing your pelvic floor, relaxing your jaw and your face. Relaxing your feet and your hands. Feel heavy on the ground. Feel free to continue to rest here, or you can circle your wrists and ankles. Take any final stretch that might feel good. And find your way to a seated position. I will read the yoga card for the day. My body and baby are safe during birth. I am ready, relaxed, and calm. I allow my body to birth my baby. Namaste to you. Namaste to the babies. The end of pregnancy can be so challenging. I remember how hard it is to wait. With my last two babies, I had intrahepatic cholestasis, and I was desperate to get those babies out, and so I tried a whole bunch of natural induction methods. I will also link to